to Ibiza, Europe's ultimate party island.
I love it.
It's always a vibe.
Extraordinary.
I feel like I'm in a totally different world.
The nightlife is one of a kind. It's unicum.
But there are new plans to transform its image.
People think all we do on the island is party.
So, is the party over?
We came to Ibiza to find out what the new plans are. Is mass tourism on the island reaching a breaking point?
Let's see what authorities, locals, tourists, and those working in the music industry have to say.
The Spanish island of Ibiza, known as a global electronic music hub, lies in the Mediterranean and attracts more than 3 million visitors each year, a huge number for an island with around 160,000 residents. Most tourists come here for the parties and nightlife.
There's nowhere like this island, where the 4 best clubs in the world are all in one place. When we say Ibiza, people's expressions change. It's a mecca for anyone who loves electronic music.
Music is one of the island's most important pillars and one of the reasons it's so famous. Before electronic music took over Ibiza,
The island had a very different kind of party scene.
born in Barcelona, Carlos Martorell left law school for Ibiza in the 60s, becoming a multifaceted professional, author and influential PR figure with deep ties to celebrities.
Cuéntame, ¿qué estaba
What was
pasando
going
en la
on the
isla
island
en
at
ese
that
momento?
time, and why did so many hippies come here to Ibiza?
When I left and came to Ibiza as a hippie, it was a time when the Vietnam War was going on, and wealthy American families who didn't want their children to go to war would hide them away in remote places that no one knew about. Ibiza was completely unknown, even to Spaniards. People talked about Mallorca and nothing else. And then, all of a sudden, a group of young, good-looking, rich people showed up here. But of course, what was the hippie movement all about? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Carlos helped gather more than 2,000 photographs for Pacha El Baile, a book about one of Ibiza's most iconic clubs. He also designed the cover.
During the Franco era, there was incredible censorship. You couldn't even wear a bikini in Spain. And in Ibiza, there was nudism. At times, there would be an occasional arrest. But there was a girl featured in this book named Jane. She invented a thong. And of course, with that tiny thong, it was like being naked, and the police couldn't do anything about it. The civil guard couldn't arrest you.
In 1973, the iconic Club Pacha opened its doors. Carlos helped with this inaugural celebration. He also played a key role in the opening parties of Amnesia, Cool and Naive, events attended by numerous international celebrities, including Mick Jagger, but also by locals. Carlos also organized more than 20 exclusive Flower Power VIP parties, shaping Ibiza's legendary nightlife scene. But what is Ibiza's club scene like today? Barcelona-born DJ Oliver moved here in the 90s and held residencies at Space, Amnesia and Privilege.
We've lost a bit of the identity we used to have. It's all about money, money, money. And we've lost a little of that personal connection. In the past, the party scene was like one big family. Well, Ibiza today is a massive multi-million-dollar business. Prices are sky high. So you've got private jets, huge yachts, and exorbitantly expensive restaurants. And of course, the hippie scene is completely dead.
Do you miss the Ibiza of the past?
Man, how could I not miss it?
Ibiza has established itself as a premier luxury tourism destination, attracting renowned DJs, celebrities, global brands, and of course, tourists. But
over-tourism here has driven up prices for locals.
Everything here is expensive. Housing, breathing, walking, sleeping, going out to party, having a drink, eating dinner.
prices are really high, especially housing.
It gets more expensive every year. Nightclubs, drinks, housing.
Tickets for Ibiza's biggest clubs cost 50 to 120 euros. Opening and closing parties can be 150 euros or more. But for some tourists, the prices don't seem to be a problem.
I've been here multiple times, like 4 or 5 times. I love it every time.
Second time, and honestly, I'd do it again, definitely next year, and every year's even better than the last.
4th time in Ibiza.
Second time too, and I'd do it again, even for another 50 years if I had to.
Beyond the party, Ibiza is home to a fragile ecosystem that faces growing pressure from mass tourism. I'm meeting with Inma Saranova of Ibiza Conservation.
These black patches are Posidonia seagrass beds, a marine plant reported to have a per-unit area carbon sequestration capacity up to 15 times greater than the Amazon rainforest. It's one of the planet's great lungs, yet it often goes unrecognized.
And what are the consequences of mass tourism on Posidonia?
Well, specifically, what mass tourism often leads to is a large number of boats at anchor that don't always anchor properly. That is, they don't drop their anchors correctly, causing large patches of damage to a plant that takes over 100 years to grow.
So now that we know a little bit more about Ibiza, let's see what the tourism office has in mind.
In Ibiza town, known for its historic old quarter, iconic landmarks and winding streets, we learn more about the island's new tourism program from Juan Miguel Costa.
We do have the best party scene in the world, but that's just one side of Ibiza. What we're trying to do through Ibiza Family Moments is to show families that if they come to the island, they can enjoy some fantastic activities, whether or not they choose to forget about partying.
Do you want the party scene to quieten down?
No, we want to ensure that the party scene that exists is regulated. We want to prevent any new nightclubs from opening on the island, and we want to strike a balance between the party scene, the visitors who come to party, and the residents.
Why are you trying to change Ibiza's image?
What we're looking to do is reposition or rebrand Ibiza. It's a very well-known brand in tourism, but it's always associated with partying. We want to move away from that. We know we have the best parties and are going to keep having them. But we also have other tourism offerings that are truly impressive. We want to promote things like outdoor sports, gastronomy, culture, and family-friendly activities.
Does that clash with Ibiza's party image? While the club season runs from April to October, the island reaches its peak in June, July, and August. Eva Cercadillo of Leo Ibiza, a venue that combines cabaret, fine dining, and club nights, says it's possible to have it all.
For me, what makes Ibiza unique is that it's a pioneer in party culture, leisure and music, especially electronic music. But it's not just that, we have so much more to offer. There are crystal clear waters, beautiful beaches and world-class cuisine. I also think attracting more families is a positive thing. The island belongs to everyone.
Born in Bilbao, Spain, DJ Igor Marijuan settled in Ibiza in 2001. He has since played at iconic Ibiza clubs and major international events, including Tomorrowland and Burning Man.
The island is a real treat for families. I'm a father, my son lives here, and I think it's wonderful. You think families don't go out to party? The two are totally compatible. It's not one or the other.
But the new tourism strategy isn't going over well with everyone in the club scene.
What the Balearic government here is doing is trying to shift the type of tourism a bit, to downplay the success of the clubs here on the island. So the only way they can do that is by attracting more families, so that people don't talk so much about the island's nightlife.
And there are even more concerns within the music industry.
Up until now, it seems the government in Ibiza has completely turned its back on the music scene. It has no clear position on the issue. Privately, some politicians have told us that they do support it, of course, because they understand that it's the island's commercial engine, its driving force. But when it comes to policy and the social sphere, they actually do very little.
Beyond the clubs, Ibiza attracts visitors seeking luxury, wellness, nature, culture, and family holidays. Yet, the island's party culture and music scene is here to stay.
Ibiza without music wouldn't make much sense. There are other destinations that have everything Ibiza has to offer, but what really sets us apart is the party scene and music here. Ibiza without parties? That's never going to happen. Impossible. It wouldn't be Ibiza. It would be just another place, a run-of-the-mill island. It won't happen. I'm sure of it.
What do you think about Ibiza's party scene and its challenges? Any other places facing the same issues?